Local bookstores are charming and cozy environments where fellow book lovers go to be mesmerized by the stacks and stacks of literature you would never find in the likes of Barnes & Noble or Books A Million. Now, it is unfortunately a declining industry, but is something that will never lose its allure in my eyes. Which leads me to this video. So, I had this idea the other week when I was kind of disappointed with the lack of local bookstores in my area. So I was like, hey, why don't we go to a nice big city near us and just see if they have any cool little book spots to check out. So we did just that, and we thought we would take you along with us through the trip.
Well, are we there yet?
No!
Are we there yet?
Yes.
Really? No!
Hey, it's me now, Tyler. I was on this trip too, along with a familiar character you might recognize from a previous video. I just wanted to talk about a couple of the cool things we did before we got to the bookstores. Unfortunately, we got to Houston on Friday and we got in pretty late, so we didn't do much besides just go to the hotel and then go get dinner. But we did get this place called Houston Hot Chicken. We didn't know that it had literally just opened, I think less than a week before we got there. But I just wanted to shout them out because that was probably the best customer service we've ever had at a fast food, fast casual kind of place. All the staff was super friendly. They gave us a free drink. It was like a blueberry and biscuits icy kind of deal slush. It was good. I'd say a 8 out of 10 for the food. They don't lie about the hot chicken part. I was struggling, but it was very good. So shout out to that. And then Saturday is the day we really got started. We left our luxury suite at the Hampton Inn and headed out for the day. First stop, we wanted to get some coffee. So we stopped at Lucy. This was a place that Elf Number 1 found. It was really chill, really nice inside. They even had their own coffee roaster in the back. You can kind of see coffee was pretty good. Drake really enjoyed his. Mine was, it was coffee. It was good. But Lucy's Coffee, great place to check out if you're in Houston. Now, let's get on to the bookstores.
Stop acting like you know the way ahead, like you know the rules. There are no rules, man. We're lost. No.
The first stop was Half Price Books. Now, this was definitely more similar to a Barnes & Noble kind of, style and structure. But this was kind of just the first one that I saw when I was looking things up. Seemed to be a really nice brand, pretty well known. And yeah, it was very nice. I actually got my first pickup here, which was actually the Forgetting Moon by Brian Lee Durfee. I've been hearing about it for a while, and it was a really good deal, so I ended up picking that one up. And besides that, they had a great selection of fantasy and a little bit of sci-fi, not much of anything else, but it was still definitely a good first stop, and it was definitely really nice.
Our next stop was Becker's Books, probably my favorite spot we stopped at all weekend. This place is just an absolute labyrinth, just endless hallways, just completely made of books. We walked around this place for probably it's not very big, but it's just so tightly compacted. We walked around for probably 20 minutes before we found all the different hallways, and there are just endless shelves of books in here. Every time you turn a corner and you think you've found the end, there's another little nook or another hallway that leads to another section. And they had pretty much every genre you could think of in this place. They had an entire 2 bookshelves dedicated to books about fluid dynamics. So whatever your interests are, I'm sure they have it. You can just see from the footage just the amount of books present in this place is unbelievable. Now, a lot of them are old and not everyone's gonna be interested in everything you find here, but they definitely have something for everyone. Once you crawl around the maze and find the section you're interested in, you're definitely going to find something that you want to pick up. We explored this place for quite a while. I think it's a husband and wife that run it. It was only the wife there while we were there, but she was super helpful. She helped Drake find a lot of different stuff that he was looking for. And then me and Cole pretty much just ran around, not literally, but we just went around the labyrinth like little kids looking for all the weirdest books we could find. And they had some very unique stuff there, like even the bathroom was its own little area. This is, also, if it's not obvious from the footage, this is like a house that's been converted into a bookstore. So at one point we were walking like way towards the back and we just stumbled upon like a full kitchen that had some books in it, but I didn't want to go in because they had like dishes and stuff. I think it's just an in-use kitchen. So it's definitely got a very unique vibe compared to the rest of the bookstores we went to, being that this is, it's a home that's been converted into a bookstore. It's not a office building that's being used as a bookstore. And yeah, once again, definitely my favorite place on the list. Be sure to check it out. And the owner said that she recently got a website up, so if you want to look up any of their books, because I know it is very overwhelming to look at, you can find it on the website and then go search for hours and find it on the shelf.
And you know what? Now you're gonna pay, baby.
Our next stop was Quarter Price Books, which unfortunately I don't have any footage of because the employee or guy working there told us to put our phones away. It's a bit rude, but I don't know, maybe he was having a bad day or something. He's also like moving boxes around the shop the entire time we were in there. He was kind of triggering my social anxiety, but that's just our experience. I don't want to be like rude to any of these places. The guy behind the counter, the cashier dude, seemed really nice and knowledgeable. He seemed like he knew what he was talking about. And Drake said that they actually had a great sci-fi selection. So if you're interested in some old school sci-fi books, you might want to check out Quarter Price Books. But one thing, they definitely know what they have. All of their like quote unquote rare finds are all like wrapped and priced differently than the other books. So you might not find too great of deals, but they're still pretty cheap. They're not going to be like over retail price, but you're not going to find those like $40 books for, under $5 here, unfortunately, unless they slip up and miss one. But nonetheless, still a cool place to check out. And they had a pizza shop right next door, so you can do books and lunch right there.
Favorite candy, Reese's Pieces or them Lifesaver gummies. If you give me a bag of them, they're gone.
After Becker's, we headed to get lunch. We went to this place called Local Food, which is like a interesting name, but the food was really good. Here's some pretty pictures of it. And then we were off to our next stop.
Back with another milk. Help! Help! Help me!
After lunch, we headed to Brazos, which was more of a curated spot. It was less used books and more just like very popular, very influential books. It was still really cool. They had a lot of unique covers here, which I'm a big fan of. I like getting alternate covers for books. And a lot of great staff picks. They had notes about their favorite books and why they liked them. It's very much a place you go if you're looking for new releases or a specific type of book. But it was still a lot of fun. We didn't end up picking up anything here because, this trip was to find used books, but we still wanted to check out this really cool spot. And they also have this kids section. We didn't go into it, obviously, but they have this kids section in the back, which we saw online, which looked like a great spot if you want to take your kid on like a weekend to go check out some books. But yeah, that is Brazos. One of my favorite spots that we went to. We talked to a couple people there that were really nice, not workers, but just people that also enjoy books. And it seemed like a very chill spot. Definitely somewhere I could see myself going, like, every couple weeks if I lived in the area.
The next stop was Murder by the Book, which is a great name, by the way. And as you could probably tell by that name, They kind of prioritize or focus on murder, mystery, thriller type books. They of course had other things, but definitely a good bit in that genre. They had a couple cool knickknacks on the top of the shelves, really great atmosphere, and there was even actually an author in the back just answering some questions with a little group of people. We didn't pick anything up here. It was mostly retail stuff, which just really I wasn't looking for that at the time. But still, you know, a really cool spot. Great name, great aesthetic to it. But yeah, good one.
Step 1. Apply 30 layers of sunscreen and 10 pairs of sunglasses to protect you from the sun.
After Murder by the Book, we stopped by Herman Park to get some fresh air, get all that book dust we've been breathing in all day out of our lungs. It was a pretty little park. We went walk around a bit. They had a lot of people taking graduation pictures, so it was a little busy, but they had some nice flowers, and we went up this little hill and looked out at the city from the top of it. It was a fun, chill little spot. Did you like? Are the books good?
No.
Next stop was Kaboom Books. This one had a lot of good reviews, so I definitely wanted to stop by here. It was on a really nice kind of old downtown area, and this place was stacked to the roof with books. It had, of course, layers and layers of rooms and everything. And you know, not to say anything about the owner, but he was definitely an interesting guy. You could definitely tell he had a real interest in literature with how he was just analyzing everything when you asked him where a certain book is. But yeah, regardless, this is actually where I picked up my second book, The Dispossessed by Ursula K. Le Guin. I've been knowing about her for a while, never heard of that specific book, but I kind of just knew, you know, it'd probably be pretty decent. So I'm definitely looking forward to checking out that sci-fi. But yeah, definitely a great little place. I really like the vibes of it. And yeah, it's a good one.
My sister had a baby, and I took it over because she passed away, and then the baby lost its legs and its arms, and now it's nothing but a stump.
And that was our day of exploring used bookstores in Houston. We stopped and got some gelato, and then headed back. I would recommend you check out all the bookstores we talked about in this video, but also just wherever you live, look up like the biggest city near you and just go check out some of the shops. Everyone we talked to was really knowledgeable and seemed passionate about their work, whether they owned the bookstore or just worked there. They all seemed like they really cared about it. It was really cool to meet a lot of people that are into the same hobby as us. So wherever you live, just look up the nearest large city and then look up some of the used bookstores or just locally owned bookstores in that area. I'm sure you'll find a bunch. There were a lot more that we didn't visit just because we didn't have the time. So if you go to a larger city, there are going to be a ton of options for you to choose from. But that's about it. Thank you guys for watching. Leave your suggestions in the comments if you have a favorite used bookstore, and maybe like the area it's in, and maybe we'll go check it out one day. See you next time.
We right here in front of Barney's and Nobley.